We race. Perfect start from Kalija, who looks over his shoulder. Vladimir pushes the Aussie down into turns 1 and 2. Baglin up the inside, tries to take the Canadian. Eiley Christian holds out wide. In the Tony kart, he's lost out. Kalija in position 1. Looks once, looks twice, looks 3 times over his shoulder to the ruthless racing Russian Vladimir Ivaninkov. For the Sicilian Gamoto team in second place is Baglin up the inside of Dean, who's back to P4. There's the Canadian Eiley Christian in the Vortex-powered Tony kart as they come down the hill for the first time. Kalija in position 1, but by 0.0. Baglin, remember he took the victory last week at Sano, but heartbreakingly came into Parc Ferme with a drop nose cone and lost the race win. Was absolutely devastated by he's in position 3. That was Eiley Christian in the background, going by Dean Hugendorn in the Tony kart, who now lines up the Canadian already before they exit turn 2. He's down the inside like a machine. He's Dean, the Dutchman, back into position 4. A replay off the start, you can see to the right of your screen, Ivaninkov just pushing William, who looks over his right shoulder and simply says, thanks mate, I needed that. And the Australian leads the Russian, but the Brit, Baglin, is right there as well. We come back to live pictures, and that sentence is already made redundant. Ivaninkov position 1, Baglin P2, Kalija in P3, P4 though, as Dean goes down the inside, takes him. Oh, it's all going wrong for William. He takes back position 2, and now it's kicking off. We complete the second lap of the 60 mini final. Any of the 12 drivers on your screen back to Keelan Harvick. Remember, him started out at grid 4. The American, he's in 12th place. Ivaninkov half a second ahead of the pole setter Kalija. Has to close the door, and Ivaninkov can't do it. Dean follows him through. It's all going wrong for Kalija. Now Baglin will try and take the Australian. The CRG's in the background. Asher Rockstein fighting with Bruno Blanco for 6th place. Ivaninkov, 5, maybe 6 card lengths of the leaders. They go down through the chicane. This is lap 3 of 10, round 1 of the 2023 WSK Open Series. Dean Hugendorn cops a touch from William Kalija, goes in deep under brakes as Baglin, the iCarts entry, in position 5, doesn't make a move yet. Those 4 work together. There's the Canadian Eiley Christian in the background. Spectacular in 60 mini. We start the 3rd lap of the 10-lap final here. Eiley Christian in the background. Then we go to Bosco Arias, Ilya Bereshkin, Harvick, Baguti, Asher Rockstein, the 2 Americans. Blanco Chan, John Matteo Russo in position 14. The Panamanian won round 3 of the WSK Supermaster Series at Sano 7 days ago. But at the moment, he's not even inside the top 10. Ivaninkov has now got the lead from Brockton Cosmo Christopher. Baglin, position 4. Dean, position 3. And William in 5th place. Dean down the inside. William does the same to Baglin. The Romanian is there, and there is the Canadian in position 6. It will be a 6-card fight in just a moment. Here we go, the second half of what is going to be a thrilling, climactic crescendo for the 60 mini final, round 1 of 4. The 2023 WSK Open Series down the inside. Dean the Dutchman down through turn 3. Goes on through Kalija on the grass. Ivaninkov, Baglin. And the Australian go wheel to wheel. Here comes the Canadian, who just keeps on trucking. He's on the outside of the Brit. Kalija P4. The pole sitter, the fastest qualifier, who has dominated here at Lonato. At the moment, it's all going wrong for the Australian. He's off the podium. Dean determined in position 1. Brockton Cosmo Christopher and Vladimir Ivaninkov for Team Gamoto. Oh boy, here we go. The second half of the 60 mini final. The first of 4 rounds for 2023. There's our assistant race director, Mr. Marco Cardellino, saying keep it clean, boys. And they do just that for the moment. Dean, position 1, Bogdan, P2, then Vladimir. They don't change. There is Baglin, just ahead of Kalija. Christian and Bosco Arias, the second generation racer for AC Motorsport, the Spaniard. He's in position 7, racing together with team driver, comes down the hill now, head of Kiel and Harvick, so the American's not out of it either. The front trio, the second trio, there's a gap between the both of them. Dean, 501, position 1. Bogdan and Vladimir. So it's the Kidix Driver Academy, team driver, Team Gamoto, and Team Baby Rice. His titanic battle continues on with 4 laps remaining. Dean determined as he races down into the flat-out turn 1, 2, 3 complex here at Lonato. Ivaninkoff just shadows the back of Hugendorn. Baglin over the ripple strip knows he made the very slightest of errors, and Kalija capitalizes. The Australian back into position 4. This is anybody's a race here today. Ivaninkoff, a tighter line for Team Gamoto, position 2 in the WSK Open Cup in 2022. Last year the race was won by Iskander Zulfikari. Iskander at the moment, position 16. Ivaninkoff dives down the inside and he's back into position 2. Bogdan gets him back on the exit. Watch Kalija around the outside. He's on the outside though, won't get the run. Baglin will push him through. Dean is disappearing down the road. The gap is half a second. These 5 on your screen need to work together. Ivaninkoff slams it down the inside. He's into 3rd place. Bogdan covers the line over Noah Baglin. Kalija says, no problem, I'll try the outside. Now he runs out of road. The Canadian, Eiley Christian, just keeps on trucking. He goes on by Eiley Christian. He's now up onto the podium. Dean has got half a second over the battle for 2nd place, which is the Russian Vladimir Ivaninkoff for the Sicilian Team Gamoto, as Bogdan sends it up the inside of Baglin. That is Bosco Arias. Kalija is now ahead of Harvick, but they're in 7th and 8th places, 6th and 8th places now as Kalija takes him back. Hugendorn, the gap was 0.5 of a second. It's almost 0.7. Eiley Christian needs to work together with the Team Gamoto driver if they're to have any hope. Dean Hugendorn knows that today it's his race. He's driving the wheels off the Kidix Driver Academy Kart Republic. Kalija is effectively out of it, heartbreakingly for the Aussie, who has dominated round 1 of the WSK Open Series. He's in position 6. Harvick, his teammate, is position 8. And there's the second American, Asher Rockstein, a position behind in P9. Ivaninkoff has to defend from Eiley Christian. That is the Romanian Bogdan Cosmo Christopher. Noah Baglin, P1 last week at Sano. He's about to start the last lap of the race in 5th place. The gap, 5/10 of a second. The laatste ronde for Dean the Dutchman. Ivaninkoff can't catch him. Eiley Christian needs to decide to push the Russian down into the pit hairpin or say second will do me. Try and make an attack on the Team Gamoto driver. They're catching him. It's down to 3/10 of a second. The last lap of the race, Dean Hugendorn, exactly 12 months ago to the day since he last stood on the top step of the podium. Down through the chicane for the final time. Kalija heartbreakingly in position 9. He's out of it. Ivaninkoff P2. Hugendorn will win round 1 of the WSK Open Series. They're trying to catch him. They won't do it. Eiley Christian down the inside. That checkered flag is about to wave. Dean the Dutchman wins round 1 of the WSK Open Series for the Kidix Driver Academy. The Canadian Eiley Christian position 2. Ivaninkoff for Team Gamoto on the podium in 3rd place. What a race! Dean has won it. Like a machine is Dean Hugendorn. He has been waiting 12 months to the day for that victory. And finally, the Dutchman, Dean Hugendorn, has won in WSK. From the start, William Kalija from pole position was pushed by Ivaninkoff. He simply said, thanks, mate. Appreciated that. But from there, was pushed back, and ultimately the Australian would finish behind his American teammate Harvick in 8th place. Ivaninkoff with the time in the lead. Dean Hugendon, he was determined here though today. Bogdan Kosmo Christopher trying to stay with Hugendon, but he had his own problems in the form of Vladimir Ivaninkoff. Noah Baglan as well. The leader on the outside was soon passed by Eiley Christian, who went up into 6th place, then to 5th, then to 4th. And the North American driver would ultimately finish in position 3 for the Tony Kart Racing team. They traded positions on the final corner. Eiley Christian position 2, Vladimir Ivaninkoff on the podium for Team Moto in 3rd place. Dean the Dutchman wins round 1 of the WSK Open Series right here at the centre of the karting universe, South Garda Karting Lonato. Hugendorn with the victory, 0.47 of a second advantage over Eiley Christian. Great try from Eiley, give him some credit. That is the second Tony Kart Racing team podium of the day. And Vladimir Ivaninkoff, P2 in 2022, but P3 here this afternoon for the Sicilian Team Moto. Baglan 4, Bogdan Kosmo Christopher 5, Bosco Adia 6. The baby race duo, well, Dylan Harvick, William Kalija, sadly not today. Blanco and the second American, Asher Rockstein, rounds out the 10. Dean the Dutchman, Hugendorn, wins round 1 of the WSK Open Series. The podium presentation live from Lonato in just a moment.